oh, hey, there's that stigma, there's that pressure, like, oh, hey, are you going to a four-year university? What's up, YouTube? It is your boy Isaac. Welcome back to another episode of Shop Unbox. In today's video, I'm going to be reacting to Jonathan Strange's Do You Need College to Be Successful video that he posted on his YouTube channel. He has a little over 1,000 subs, opened up a cell phone repair shop. He did drop out of college, kind of the similar story that I had. That's why I'm going to be reacting to the video, because there's a lot of things that I can relate to. But let's go ahead, dive in. There's a lot of good information. We're not going to finish the video all the way through, so make sure you check out his YouTube channel. I'm going to leave all the links in the description. Let's get to it.
I attended Auburn University at Montgomery online and Troy University online, and attended basically my freshman classes. So I knew that I wanted to be an accounting major before I ever went to college. Accounting made the most sense for me, being a business owner, and also it's one of the most universal business degrees that you can get. That was my thinking in terms of making that decision on getting that major. So because of that, I was able to actually get the course curriculum online, which you can do this for any college that you want to attend. For those listening out there that are still in high school, I would recommend you try to pick, your major before you graduate. It's very important. My point in all that is that because I knew I wanted to be an accountant and I knew that I would be going to Auburn University, I had to make sure that XI Repair could self-sustain without me the days that I was working at the shop. So I made preparations for training a team up through high school so that the days that I was working there at Auburn, they could be here. Because I knew that I wanted to be the accounting major and I had the course curriculum from Auburn, I was able to basically take the equivalent courses that I needed as a freshman there, figure out what those equivalent courses are at Troy University online and Auburn University online, and take those courses my junior and senior year of high school. So the summers of after junior year and throughout senior year, I took multiple courses, and then the summer after my senior year, I took dual enrollment classes as well, right before my first fall semester at Auburn University. But when I finally got there, I was quite disappointed. Up until this point, I had been pretty much running the business 24/7, 7 days a week outside of high school, trying to surround myself by business owners and other entrepreneurs that were normally a lot older than me and a lot more mature than the people my age. And it had really kind of developed me into a businessman. And so for me, going to Auburn University, truth be told, I felt out of place. Like I felt like I was surrounded by a bunch of just kids that all they cared about was, what so-and-so is posting on Instagram and what parties this weekend. And don't get me wrong, I had my fun. I used to DJ in high school and throughout college, and that was fun. Got paid for it and pretty much got paid to party with everyone else. But it wasn't my focus. All
right, guys, so obviously you can see from there, Jonathan's very mature for his age, kind of has his head on right. And kudos to him. Like, he did dual enrollment in high school. For those of you guys who don't know what dual enrollment is when universities will let you apply to like two separate colleges or whatever, so you can get your college credits while you're in high school. And I didn't go take that route, but I had friends that did. I think that's very smart to do the dual enrollment if you decide that you want to go the college route and you want to get some of that stuff done, because it is going to take those credits off of you that you don't have to worry about when you become a freshman in college. You already have it done. But yeah, kudos to him. Did the dual enrollment. He attended Auburn and somewhere else, like he just stated. And then he did have the repair business and a DJ business on the side. He wasn't like all into the repair business yet, but he knew, like, hey, if I want to go into this college, if I want to go fully in on this college thing, I'm gonna have to train people. So you can kind of see, very smart individual. He's thinking like, okay, I need to make that adjustment so then I'm not losing the repair side of this business. So he then had to train individuals to work the repair store then, so he could do college and take his classes or whatever he needed to do. Very, very smart. That is something I would recommend. I would have recommended, let's say, for example, like if I met him at that time and he didn't know what to do, I would say, look, if you want to go to college and keep your store open, I would highly recommend for you to find individuals, hire them, train them, get them ready, even if they're part-time. So then if they're working part-time and you're working part-time, it will cover the full time of that store, so they can do repairs and then go study, and then you can do repairs and go study and get what you need to get done. So very smart individual. Like I said, I went to Eastern Michigan University for 1 year. I dropped out. And guys, I'm not saying college is bad. College is not bad. We do need people to go to college so they can get like jobs like becoming a lawyer, becoming a doctor, etc. We need nurses. We need people in the medical field. Like that is obviously a need, but let me just state this. College is not for everybody. College is not for everybody. The reason why I dropped out and I was supposed to go like the physical therapy, physician's assistant route is because I thought that was my future. And I really at that time, I was just into athletics. That's why I wanted to get into physical therapy and like health. But you know, soon come, I didn't even know I had a passion. Soon to come, I didn't even know I had a passion for tech. So I dropped out my first year, and that was the best decision I could have ever made. But I'm not, all the individuals out there that are watching this video, I'm not saying you need to drop out of college to become successful. His story is a little similar to mine. That's why I'm reviewing the video. And I feel like at that time and at that moment where he was thinking, he made the right adjustments so he could go to school.
And it seemed to be everybody else's focus there. The first reason I decided to drop out, which is ultimately what happened, was because of the crowd that I felt like I was surrounded by. There wasn't really anyone that I knew that was doing what I was doing as a sophomore. Or if they were doing it off daddy's money, I felt like, and really weren't going to go anywhere. So I didn't want to surround myself by those types of people. The second reason that I decided to drop out was that I didn't feel like the time was worth it. So for some people, college may be worth it simply because they have the time and they don't have something else that's demanding of that time at the moment. But for me, it was the opposite. So I had this decision that I finally had to make of, is this worth the investment of my time? Had I been paying for it out of pocket, the answer would be absolutely not. I don't think I would have ever gone. But I was on a full ride scholarship at the time to Auburn, so felt like I could justify it by it being free. But what I didn't think about in the cost of going to Auburn was my time. 2 or 3 years later, that decision has held up to be probably one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. Another reason I think that really went into it was, man, they treat you like kids. You know, I felt like I was like at extended high school at Auburn. Like there's these little stupid rules of this and that and another. And I remember one particular instance in a business class where, you know, everyone else would typically be like really involved and I guess answering questions and stuff like that. But for me, I was always on my laptop, you know, trying to message customers back or this, that, or another in classes that I didn't need to pay attention for. Like I was a smart kid. When I took chemistry, you know, I had taken AP chemistry at Brewtech and it was 3 times as harder than what I was having to take at college. So, you know, I didn't need to know that. I already knew the information. Why did I need to pay attention? I was just forced to be there because I had to make another check on my resume essentially to be able to get my degree at the end of the year. So my point is I didn't pay attention a lot, and a lot of my teachers and professors would pick up on that. And one actually pulled me to the side in one of my business classes and she was like, hey, you know, you turn all your work in on time, your projects are great, blah, 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 your grades are great. But I just feel kind of wanted to like ask you why you don't pay attention in class. You know, it is concerning. I told her that basically I own a business and the class that this particular professor was questioning me about and was taking her frustrations out on me for was a business class on how to get a job. And at that point, I was literally hiring other people to help at the new Chantilly location that we were opening. So it was just kind of a joke. Like I didn't see the need for that. And, you know, I wasn't rude about it, but I basically just told her, you know, like I own my own company. I appreciate, you know, you guys, I understand that this is a necessity for most people, but I'm hiring people. For me, I'm in the other shoes at this point in my life. And I don't think she really knew how to take that, to be quite honest. And for me, that was really one of the eye-opening moments for me that made me realize, wow, maybe I'm not supposed to be here.
And so, yeah, I definitely felt the same way when I dropped out of school. A lot of similarities, and I can definitely put myself in Jonathan's shoes. But going back to what he said about time, guys, you know, that's a huge, time is huge. I say this all the time. My channel is based around saving you guys time, and he is so right. Like when you go to school, it is time consuming, especially if you're an athlete. You know, these universities, whether you're D3, D2, D1, they are very, very particular about taking sports very seriously. They want you to eat, breathe, and sleep those sports. It's literally like a full-time job, literally. And you know, I felt the same way in terms of my time. Like, yes, I did have time. I was able to go lifting and I was able to do extra things, but it's literally like a full-time job. It literally is. And all your effort and commitment, you know, if you are trying to get a lot of credits under your belt, have to go into, you know, taking courses or finishing these classes. And then also what he said about how he felt that he didn't belong in the class because he felt like, you know, with chemistry, he already learned those things and he felt like he was learning those things continually over and over again. I felt the exact same way. There was classes that I took that I'm like, I literally learned this in high school. Why am I learning this again? And it got to the point to where I didn't even want to focus. Like, yes, I passed my classes and I got good grades. I think my GPA was at like it was at like a 3.7. I was maintaining, you know, I wasn't like the super smartest, but I was doing pretty good for as many courses as I was taking, because I was going to school pretty much full time. I was living in the dorms. I, you know, wasn't going on and off of campus. Like, all my classes were back to back to back. I had classes in the morning, classes in the afternoon, classes at night, and you know, I maintained a 3.7, and I did get, you know, academic scholarship through the university. I didn't get like an athletic scholarship, so most of my stuff was taken care of. But yeah, like I was saying, I feel like I was learning all of the stuff that they taught in high school, and I just felt like it was a waste of time. Like, I was kind of going through the motions. And again, guys, I'm not saying college is a bad thing, but for me, I seen the light at the end of the tunnel, and I knew there was more out there in the world versus just sitting in class all day. And that's why I decided to leave.
Felt like everyone around me was being trained to be a slave, and here I am trying to be free myself. Like, I didn't want to be in that 9 to 5 every single day, someone telling me what to do. I've spent the last 3 or 4 years of my life dedicated to not being in that trap, and I felt like college was just going to prepare me for that. And so I decided to just drop out. I called Sarai one day. I said, you know, I'm done with this. I'm dropping out, you know, and she was very open about it and just very accepting of my decision in that. And I walked to the counselor's hall and just basically said, I'm done. What I need to do, what I need to pay, how do I get out of this? They tried talking me out of it and saying that, you know, this is a bad decision. Quite frankly, were really rude about it, to be honest. I insisted no. I'm like, they went on to tell me like I needed my parents' permission or something to sign off on this and all this bull crap. And I'm like, look, I pay for my stuff. You know, my parents are not even involved with my college school. There's not one parent of mine on my paper. I haven't lived with my parents in years. They're not involved in this. And they literally were trying to tell me I couldn't drop out without their signatures, which is just stupid. But nonetheless, I got through that. They finally let me go and get all my stuff out, and had to pay for some of the courses. But at the end of the day, it was probably one of the best decisions I ever made. I got a U-Haul truck, and Soraya came up there one day and helped me get all the stuff. We packed everything up and brought it down here. Ended up getting a place of my own and built the company. So that's a long story, but I hope that when you guys learn something from the story that you can apply to yourself. But to really answer the question, no, you do not need college to be successful in life. You know, it's unfortunate that most teachers are just pounding kids down their throat. Oh, wait, what college are you going to? What college are you going to? What college are you going to? That's the wrong question that they should be asking. The question that they should be asking is, what do you want to do in life?
Exactly, guys. Like, I feel like what they should be teaching in most of these high school courses is not just basic things. Like, obviously we need to learn like history, you need to learn math, stuff like that. But I just feel like they should be teaching like accounting, they should be teaching like financial skills. And some schools don't even teach how to sew anymore. I'm not saying sewing's like a big need out there, but these were just basic things when I was going to school that they taught. I'm not that old, I'm 26 years old, but they took those things away. I don't even think they teach cursive anymore in elementary schools. But yeah, I feel like I said, like just like he's saying, the curriculum needs to be different in high schools. They need to be more focused around like financial skills, maybe talk about like your credit score, like how to build credit, maybe how to code, how to do real life skills, okay? And most schools that I know of, most public schools, don't teach how to increase your credit score in high school. Like maybe if you're a senior or a junior in high school and you want to learn like, okay, what is credit? How do I build my credit? You know, what are credit cards? What is a loan? What's a personal loan? Like, schools don't teach stuff like that, and I think that needs to change. And then I pretty much did the same thing as he did. Like, when I decided I wanted to drop out, I just pretty much packed up all my stuff. I finished out my year in school, and I said I wasn't going back. Like I said, I knew that there was more out there than just sitting in class all day. I ended up getting my own, apartment, my own place with my girlfriend at the time, and that's how I started building my company. I started repairing out of that apartment that I always talk about. And then I was able to move into my sister's shed, and it basically grew from there.
You know, where do you want to be in life? And then helping kids reverse engineer how you get there. For example, you know, kids that want to be rappers, right? Like there's so many kids in my school that wanted to be that. If teachers really cared about them and they saw that these kids were talented artists, which a lot were in my school, then they would stop and they would say, okay, the average music artist has years of making himself and perfecting his craft before he just goes viral and blows up. Now, very few people just put out one mixtape and then blow up. It doesn't work like that. They should explain that maybe, you know, in order to be able to be this musician that you want to, you got to start off by getting a job or just having some income, so at least you can have a home and be stable before you can go out and be your own musician. Because not everyone at 17 really knows what they want to be. That being said, no, I do not think college is required to be successful in life. You know, I'm a prime example of you don't need college to be successful in life. For a lot of people who never had that successful person to be around, or that person that was motivated, or that person that was there for a common goal, you're around a lot of people that you can open doors through. I will say that, you know, whether it's a professor, whether it's a dean at the school, if you can get into the right pockets, then you can possibly climb the ladders and be successful. But it's not the only way. And don't let anyone tell you that it is, because it's not.
So I'm on Jonathan's side with this one, guys. I feel like you don't need college to be successful. And I've said this in a lot of my other videos. If you decide to take the college route, am I saying that you're not gonna be successful? No, you can still become successful. It's just that shouldn't be the mentality, all right? And keep in mind, like he just said, a lot of 17-year-old kids don't even really know, 16, 17, 18, don't even know what they truly want to do at that age. Like they say they do. Like I said, hey, I want to be a physical therapist. I want to be a physician's assistant. I think I was 17 years old when I said that. And look I'm in the tech industry now. You know what I mean? I built my own business, and I'm doing this now, which is awesome. And I'm doing YouTube now. So, you know, at that time, it sounded good because it's something that I wanted to get into. But in reality, guys, you're young. You don't really know what you want. And I think a lot of pressure came from, like, you know, outside sources. So there's a lot of kids out there that get pressured from like their family members, whether it be maybe their mom, their dad, their grandparents, cousins, whatever, friends. Like, oh, hey, there's that stigma, there's that pressure. Like, oh, hey, are you going to a four-year university? What university are you going to? What are you going to be studying? And at, you know, young kids, they get that pressure like, oh my gosh, I need to go to a 4-year. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to say that I'm going to school so it can look good. But for me being 26 years old, for any youngins out there that are watching this video, don't look at it as like that type of pressure, okay? Coming from experience, don't look at it as that pressure. If you feel like you don't need college and you can go and get a job or go to even just a community college or go right into the workforce, then do that. You need to follow your heart. You need to follow your passions. And if you let all these other outside sources pressure you into doing something that you don't want to do, then you're just going to accrue a lot of debt if you don't have scholarships. So my recommendation would be to follow your passion. Try to figure out what you want to do. Maybe instead of going to a 4-year right away, maybe just go to like a 2-year university, like a community college. Try to figure out in there what you want to do. And then from there, if you want to go to a 4-year, then go to a 4-year. But thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. I hope it was very valuable for you, and I hope it provided a lot of information to help you grow your business or take that next step in the direction that you want to take that next step into. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Jonathan's channel. He has a lot of great content, and I will be putting all of his information in the description. But this has been Isaac from Shop Unbox. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.